Today I want to talk about theatre making and specifically something that's one of the main elements but still can be invisible to the everyday theatre goer, and that is directing. So, what does a director really do? I mean, you probably know that he's sort of the main guy who organizes everything, but what does that mean and how can that influence how the production looks? Well, it can influence everything really. The director is the person who decides what he wants the production to be about, perhaps sometimes together with a dramaturg, which is a profession I might talk about on another day. So they develop this concept of what they want to say with this play, which might be slightly different to what the text itself is saying. They are reinventing it for this moment, especially if it's a classic. And then all their decisions are based on this main purpose, this main message they want to convey. So the director talks to the designer and sets him a specific task. Then he works together with the designer, with the costume designer, and of course with the actors. They go through an intense rehearsing period, which, for example, in my country, in the Czech Republic, is 2 months of sort of half days. I think in Britain it's usually only about 5 weeks, but of very intense all day work. Obviously, the director communicates to the actors what is this concept we're playing about, uh, how each of their characters fits in that, and together they develop the way the characters should be portrayed. The director organizes the way they're positioned on stage, which can be partly just practical, technical things so that everyone is visible, but the way everything is positioned, the objects, the scenery, as well as the actors themselves, actually creates meaning. In some languages, there is the term mise en scène, which I believe means to put on scene, but it is also this sort of meaningful arrangement of the situation that creates this meaning, this tension between the elements, and from that, subconsciously, we pick up a lot of information about this situation, where to look, who is the important person in this scene. Sometimes the director may want us to notice someone's reaction more than the person who's speaking. So he can do that with these means of positioning. Somebody might be in a corner and it literally is a metaphor of him being cornered in this situation where he can't do much. Somebody can be higher up. This gives him certain power. Uh, and you can use it both sort of to enhance the situation or go slightly against it and create perhaps comical moments. Apart from that, the director can also obviously put music in, some special effects. He collaborates with all these people, like the lighting designer. He can use all the elements of theatre to enhance his vision. This position of the director that I'm talking about developed together with the concept of a production that says more than the play itself. It started at the end of the 19th century, and with the development of modern theatre throughout the 20th century, the director, in most European countries at least, strengthened his position. In Britain, often his position isn't as strong because a huge percentage of the productions are new plays. So in that case, the main purpose is sort of to showcase the text itself. And also Britain has a great tradition of acting. So a lot of the time the direction really is almost an invisible element, but still it is there and it is making all the main decisions. There are some directors that have very strong aesthetic and their own style. Probably the most famous example of that is Katie Mitchell, who also works a lot in Germany, and she uses a lot of multimedia, video and stuff like that, and has a very clear aesthetic. In countries like Germany or France, the director with this very strong vision is much more common. So there we can see a lot of production that are very heavily stylized visually. They often use multimedia, or they can do that through the actors who are not acting in a naturalistic way, but are heavily stylized. Obviously, this way of directing can bring amazing, unique results, or just become this sort of formalistic, empty shell if it's just used, mechanically to go with the fashion. Okay, that's it for today. I hope you found this interesting. I hope I didn't bore you to death. I will see you next time. Bye.